Hi, welcome. Today's Thursday, January 15th, 2026, 12:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling? Yeah, things are going good over here. I have to be a little on the quiet side today. We got a significant amount of snow here in southwestern Ontario. Yeah, pretty significant. About, I think about 12 to 15 centimeters for those in the metric part of the world. If you think in inches, which I believe is imperial, right? What's that, about 5 to 8 or something like that, something around there. Anyway, it's a lot of snow, and yeah. So I was up early shoveling. And schools got canceled, so the children are home today. My two daughters are home. Daycare's closed. Elementary school's closed. So, there you go. Good times. So I have to be a little quiet because everybody is, as I said, at home, and they're quietly watching a TV program while I do my work. So unfortunately, I'm on limited time today. I don't have my full, what's the word I'm looking for? The full freedom to do, go full throttle with the length of this live stream as I typically do. Today, unfortunately, I gotta get out of here at about 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I got about an hour while everybody is relaxing quietly. Which means I'm not gonna be able to vacuum out the Keytar today. Because, it's quiet time. Hey Brian, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. The PCM 1681 is going well. I'm excited to get the video up. Still working on the sample playback. It's not as smooth as I had hoped. But that's something that I'm hopefully going to tackle tomorrow. And then probably start filming on the weekend, maybe, if I have time. But yeah, so it's exciting, though. I can tell you that I had to use my bench power supply to power the 3.3 volt set portion of the PCM 1681. So that's something that we have to think about too. So because I don't love the idea of loading down that the ESP32, right? Okay, cool. That's great. Yeah, I will. It's honestly right now, it's just sort of coding stuff. It's just working out some timing stuff and how it's doing the multiplexing. It's all me, you know what I mean? Like I don't, it's just fine tuning at this point. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress. And so the next video is going to be, I think it's going to probably be a little longer, because remember, I had to create basically 8 banks of 2.5 seconds each, essentially, right? In order to store the samples. So yeah. So it's going to be a big bite in terms of the coding portion, which is great because then, you know, once the DAC's working and it's playing back samples properly, I mean, I'm thinking that I'm probably just going to start hooking up buttons and try to get it to work with the second microcontroller, right? Which is awesome, which is really, really awesome. You know, get some of the buttons, get some of the faders maybe in the same video, maybe even the OLED if possible, because basically we're just looking to do basic communication, right? So, yeah, I mean, as long as that communication happens smoothly, I mean, we should be really, really rolling on this project, which I'm very excited about. Because it's actually, you know, getting to a point now where it's becoming an instrument, right? But yeah, I'll definitely float you a message or whatever, or an email, if I get to a point where I really need, you know, verification before I post anything. I should have sent you something before the last video, because as I said, I had to mess with some of the timing on the mounting side of the ESP32 to make it a mass storage device on the Mac, and I should have had somebody verify it on Windows. But now that I know that you're on Windows, that's really good. So if I encounter anything like that again, I'll definitely hit you up for that, for sure. But yeah, I was taking a look actually before the stream started on the Daisy website, and I was looking at the specs of that device, you know, the little Daisy seed or whatever that Ed picked up, and yeah, it looks pretty cool. I was thinking about how it might work into maybe a future project, because it seems like it's got some really interesting specs already baked into it, right? I kind of want to hey, Banana Breakdance, hey, nice, good to see him, good to see you, glad you can make it. Yeah, I'm thinking like it would be cool to try that Daisy seed maybe on something, I don't know. And my thought is that maybe something like guitar based, maybe. I think that would be something in my kind of wheelhouse that I would like. But maybe just sort of like a general kind of like effects kind of thing. I think that might be kind of neat. I do need like a delay, reverb kind of thing. That would be really nice. Yeah, I think it is mainly for audio. That's the way it's kind of pitched, right? And I know there's some Eurorack manufacturers that use that as sort of like their development environment. So that's kind of interesting too, right? Is Eurorack stuff. So that could be something too. And like I said, I love the fact that that it accepts pure data patches. I think it just takes a pure data patch and then converts it to some sort of like C-based code, which is really cool. And then, yeah, and then you can just upload a pure data patch. So that's something to think about, because pure data, you can whip stuff up pretty quickly, right? So. Yeah. I mean, it's something that I'm looking, it's kind of in the back of my mind. in terms of stuff that maybe we'll tackle later in the year, because it does have some pretty impressive specs, and it's probably, yeah, probably something that we could do some more effect-based stuff, because right now we don't have enough effects. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, we'd have to look into that. We'd have to look into the cost, because you're right. It might be more expensive than the Teensy 4. But either way, I would like to try either of those actually. Just get, like, as much as I don't get me wrong, I love the ESP32S3. It's super easy to work with. But you do have to, but it is pretty raw in terms of the features for audio-based devices, right? Whereas, you buy something like a Teensy, you buy something like a Daisy Seed, it's more geared, the specs are more geared towards some stuff, more in the audio kind of world, right? Right. Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Yeah, I really want to try doing more effects in the future, because like everything that I've done so far, like I have just, with the sampler stuff, it's really fun. Don't get me wrong. I love making the sampler stuff, and I want to have a sampling instrument, right? But I think like effects and stuff have a bit more of a kind of universal appeal, because you can use them with synths, you can use them with guitars, you can use them with whatever you want, right? So that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe do something like effect-based with it, with either of those, and just try a different microcontroller and just see if it makes the process a little bit easier, so that you can develop things a little bit quicker. Yeah, just in the back of my mind kind of thing. It's just the financial commitment, because I have so much other stuff. I have a ton of Arduino Unos. I've got an Arduino Do. I think I mentioned last week that I have that's sitting around, and that's like a 32-bit ARM microprocessor, right? I've got, what else do I have? I've got some other, like, what do you call them? Not the micros, the nanos, the Arduino nanos. I have some of those that are in kind of half-finished projects right now that I'd like to actually eventually finish. I was doing a lot of, like, sensor-based MIDI kind of stuff. So that's something that I'm thinking about, too. Yeah, a lot of ideas floating around in my head in terms of what I want to do in the future. But, we still have a long way to go on the S3 1200. Yeah, I'd like to try to get to some other stuff, though, because, like, the sampler projects are great, but, man, they're a real commitment in terms of, like, making episodes and breaking it down so you can understand it, and and spacing it and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I would like to try some more effects stuff for sure. So that's something we got to think about. And we did talk about doing like a MIDI controller, right? That's something in the future too. Maybe something with sensors and MIDI would be kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Because at one point I did have an idea of making like kind of like a MIDI based kind of like without it sounding like corny or whatever, but like a MIDI based like weather kind of station. So you'd have like environmental sensors, right? Like temperature, maybe, UV, light, all that kind of stuff. And then taking all that data and converting it into some sort of like, MIDI information that you could use to make songs kind of thing with. Oh, sweet. Nice. That's cool. Is it, did you find do you find the performance has improved significantly, Brian, in that upgrade? I'm guessing yes. But that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I'd like to do an effect. But yeah, the MIDI weather station thing is something that I had an idea in college for that. And I just think it might be kind of neat to kind of like generate, like changing of like effect parameters and stuff, in a really like, could be like really subtle, right? Because like, how much temperature fluctuations are you getting throughout the day, right? But like something like wind, maybe, where it's like, where it's fluctuating a little bit more consistently. You could assign it to like a filter cutoff or something like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking of ideas, just spitballing ideas. But yeah, I've got some cool ideas that I'd like to try, and definitely trying some other microcontrollers and stuff would be great. And of course, I still have some the kits that I have to start. I got to start those soon too, and I got to do the second version of the ESP32 sampler, and I still got to update the code to the other 5 or 4 that I have prepared, and we got to work on the update for that. So lots to do. But anyway, yeah, so I made a lot of progress on the S3-1200, as I was saying, and then yeah, other than that, that's been pretty much all I've been doing the past week or so. Yeah, it's actually almost been a week since I got the 8 channels going. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I'd expect a pretty significant improvement in performance, but yeah, it's really cool when you notice that kind of stuff, right? Like when you notice that, like what the extra stuff does for you, when you can really you get that kind of like real world just a real world kind of experience of like, oh, this is why maybe gear manufacturer X updated their hardware to this, and that's why it performs better. So it just kind of like puts all the pieces together, right? But anyway, that's pretty much it. So hopefully I'll get that video out. I was hoping for Monday, but as I said, like I hit some roadblocks, and now that we have a snow day, my work day is kind of shortened today. Yeah, so I gotta spend some time tomorrow working on stuff, and hopefully if I can get it all tied up in a nice bow tomorrow, then hopefully I'll be shooting on the weekend. Maybe I can start on the weekend. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Worst case scenario, it'll be next Friday that the video comes out. Fingers crossed. It just depends on scheduling and stuff like that, right? Oh, and I realized too, I forgot to mention this actually. The night after, when the kids went to bed last night, I did come downstairs to check out my speaker cabinet. I have a 4x12 speaker cabinet. I don't know if you guys remember, but I have a solid state Fender half stack. So it's from the 90s or mid 2000s. It's called the FM 100. It's like a 100-watt solid state amp kind of thing. Anyways, it has like a matching 4x12 cabinet. And as you know too, I also have the Sun 200S tube head that I was running from a load box directly into my audio interface. And I do want to have a speaker cabinet that I can hook up to that head. And so I was thinking, like I could do, I was wondering if I could hook up that 4x12 to the head, but it doesn't actually have the same impedance. It's a 4 ohm cabinet. It's a 4 ohm cabinet, and the output on the sun head is 16 ohms. So you don't want to, not a good idea to do that connection, but it does have 16 ohm speakers. So it's 4x16, right? So we can wire it in a way that it has 16 ohm output. So I'm thinking about doing a video for that, because it would be like a quick little, somewhat quick little modification that anybody could really make to a 4x12 cabinet, in order to get different impedances, right? So I might do that too, maybe after next week's S3 1200 video, as sort of like another video on the in-between weeks, if I have time. Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe on the in-between weeks we slide in another little project or modification or kit. See how that goes. Yeah, exactly. That's why I kind of backtracked for a second. I was like, well, it could be a quick video. But theoretically, it's just changing the wiring, right? You just take it's just rewiring, leaving the existing wiring as it is, and then changing the wiring to a 16 ohm. Yeah, exactly, Brian. Yeah. So you would run 16 and the top, whatever, 2 16s on top in series, 2 16 on the bottom in series, and then run them and then connect them in parallel, and you'd get 16 ohm output. And you could also do that, right? You could also do a 8 ohm, or could you? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't have my calculator handy, but yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. But I would like to try to find something for the in-between weeks. So we'll think about that. Because obviously getting the sampler finished is top priority. Oh, you know what else too? I forgot to mention, while we're talking about the sampler, the little SD card modules that I made, or not that I made, the SD card modules that I bought, and I don't know if they're on the bill of materials. Anyway, they're over there. But the ones that I bought, apparently I can't get them. I tried getting it to work on the ESP32S3, and I don't know. I think the voltage is incorrect, so I ordered some 3.3 volt logic SD cards. So if it is on the bill of materials, we'll have to make a correction there. But we'll get to that. Let's jump into this guy here, shall we? It's not open, but oh wow, yeah, 1 ohm, eh? That's crazy. But yeah, one thing I realized when we were testing this before the break is that I never took a look at the cable correctly. Like I never, oh geez. If you take a look, these cables are taped. And, I don't know why they're taped. Probably should remove that, right? And see if there's a broken connection, because that could be part of the issue with this Keytar. I could have opened it for all the wrong reasons. So, yeah, I feel really silly that I didn't test the cable. I really feel like a bit of a bonehead. You know, it's kind of like rookie move. Number one is, you know, you don't check all the obvious stuff first. You know, that's kind of the, you know, opening it up, it should be like the last thing you do, right? Unless you're absolutely positive that it's internal. So let's take a look at this cable. I'm going to assume that it's like a pin for pin. We can assume that, but I think we should ohm it first, or not ohm it, but we should, my guy that I used to work with always used to say, ohm it out. But what he meant was, you know, check the continuity kind of thing, or check the resistance, right? So let's see if it's just directly pin to pin. It is always fun to see what's inside. You're right. I like looking inside just to see how things are accomplished, for sure. But yeah, so let's grab our meter. We'll do continuity mode, and we'll see if every pin is connected. Now, it's a 5-pin cable. Doesn't mean that every pin is connected, right? But we can probably assume for the moment that every pin is connected. And we'll verify that after we take the tape off. But first we'll check continuity. And obviously continuity, right, is not going to tell us whether the connection sucks, whether it's actually, it's just going to tell us if it's soldered, right? It doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to work. Or if it's, I don't know what the right way to describe it is, but continuity is a good first check, put it that way. A good first move. So I'm going to put my meter in continuity mode. So when I touch my leads, right, I get a beep. I get a nice little beep. And I need a little bit of I'm going to have a piece of wire because there's a female side and a male side. So I want to be able to just stick a piece of wire in here, right? And then test over here, test the male side, right? So I'm going to do this. So hopefully, if I put now I'll do here. Okay, that might not be connected, right? Let me try a breadboard jumper. Yeah, it's not really making a connection. One sec. Let's do. Nope, there we go. Got some more wire here. This one's a little bit thicker gauge wire. So we'll try this one. Okay. We'll connect our guy there. Now let's see. Okay, I'm not getting anything there, but let's make sure that, because it might not be. So that one's connected. One of those might not be connected though, right? Like it might be a no connection situation. I don't know if they're using all the pins. Okay. So we got 3 of the 5 pins connected for sure. Okay, so now I feel like an idiot because we only have one pin on this cable that's not connected. So now I feel like a complete bonehead. Sorry, I keep pulling my arms back. I'm sorry. If you guys hang on a second, I'm going to pull my camera a little bit closer so I don't have to reach so far. Sorry about that. So yeah, now I feel like a complete frickin' bonehead because I've got one pin here that's on this cable that's definitely not making connection, which could be delivering all kinds of information to the Keytar. So that's really frustrating. Now, it might be a case that we'll open this cable up, we'll open up the connection, and there won't be anything connected, which could also tell us that there's just no connection at that point. But the fact that there's 4 other pins connected and one isn't connected tells us something, doesn't it? So let's take off the tape. And it is crappy old electrical tape. Yeah. Oh boy. Guys. Good Lord. Look at this. That's not great. And there's all kinds of stickiness on there. Oh boy. All right, so now if I'm counting conductors here, we've got, yeah, no, we've got a broken shield. As you can see, we've got a broken shield here that just came right out. And we do have 4 conductors. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we've got 1, 2, 3, and there's a black one on the other side. So we got 4 conductors. This thing comes off very easily. One second. Oh, wow. Yeah, sure. It looks like these pins. Oh, there we go. Cool. There we go. So we've definitely got a broken... Yeah, we definitely have a broken connection. Yeah, the shield is the one that's busted, though. So the shield might not be grounded, right? This one is the shield. It's not surprising that it only uses 3, because I think it's just sending MIDI information. But these other connections, we can redo these. I guess I need a piece of paper so I can write this down, right? So the shield is definitely busted. It's super short too. I don't know what they were doing. Yeah. Well, we can definitely fix that. We'll definitely re-solder this. And it looks like this pin isn't quite isn't going through quite long enough. So we need to figure that out too. We need to figure out a way to push it through a little bit farther. So that's that one. So that's pretty easy. So we'll definitely fix that. Banana breakdance. Do you have the the service manual in front of you by chance? I'm guessing that's where you're looking. I just wonder if it is using 5 pins. If it does use all 5 pins, because the unit that it hooks up to, right? It's not a MIDI. It's not traditional MIDI, right? It's going through this to that external power unit or whatever, right? So I don't know. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, cool. Good to know. I did not know. I would like to check that out. Okay. Well, we can definitely, fix the cable anyway, so this the shield is connected. Then let's look at this one and see what this one's saying. This one's kind of busted too. Like, it's not busted, it's just coming apart quite easily. Okay. Come on. Let's see here. This one's giving me a hard time. I wish I had a... Let's get a screwdriver. See if I can give it a little nudge so we can get this thing out. No. She's stuck. Well, I'm not gonna crack it open if I can't get it open, right? But it is kind of odd that it must be missing a piece from this connection, from this section, because this rubber piece isn't staying, and that's why they've taped it. I wonder if it's on backwards or something. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we can... There's no sense in... Well, I would like to fix that, though. All right. Well, anyway. Let's get this guy, I guess, resoldered. Actually, let me see if I can push this one pin out a little bit more. We'll give it a little nudge. There we go. Perfect. Now that pin is a little bit better. Okay, so should get a piece of paper. All right. So let's see here. So we got red is connected to pin 5. So this is, we'll say male. So pin 5 is red. Actually, let's do this. 5. And we got pin 4, which is here. And that is green. And then we've got pin 3 in the middle. That's what I should have done like that. 5 is black. And then we've got pin 2, which is white, and pin 1 is the shield. So we'll redo this. Shield. Okay. So that's our male side. Okay. So I'd like to trim this. I'm going to trim this back a bit so we can expose a little bit more of the shield so it doesn't pull, right? Let's turn on my iron here. Get my sponge wet. Oh, I should get my helping hands too. My daughter made it for me for Christmas. Thanks. I don't know what I did with my helping hands. Oh, they're right in front of me. Jeez. Ay caramba. All right. We also need... What do we need? We need probably an X-Acto knife, right? To cut through some of this stuff. Man, time is just flying today. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, I got to get going soon too. But thanks for coming. I appreciate the support. I really do. Have a great rest of your week. All right. Let's cut this guy open a little bit. Oh boy. I don't want to cut my hand open on YouTube. Oh yeah, there we go. Awesome. That's better. That's great. Okay. We'll do a little bit of this. I guess I should call it a utility knife, right? Not an X-Acto knife. X-Acto is a corporation. I guess it's sort of like calling Kleenex. Right? There we go. Okay. So there we go. Probably cut that nub off. Oh, we should probably do... Oh, shoot. They have heat shrink on all these connections too, right? Dang. All right. We should probably do that too. Let's cut that off. Right? Okay. Let's get these guys out. All right. There we go. God, I keep moving everything closer to me. You guys got to be able to see this stuff, right? There we go. Okay. That's better. So now these pins will come out of this little, I guess, plastic piece. But I don't think we really have to worry about that. But let's get it soldered here. So we'll take off these guys and then we'll trim it down to about there, right? We'll trim these guys down and then we're going to make that whole piece the new cable. Oh my God, we're running out of time. Okay, so let's get all this. We're gonna kind of I wish I had something. I do. It's not really that strong, but sweet. It's really tangled here. I think I was just while I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's one of those North Americanisms, I suppose. Lost over the years. I was just thinking, though, about that sensor thing again. Like MIDI, working with MIDI and sensors, sensor information or whatever. And it's really, you know, like I think the hurdle is, and why people don't generally find it all that interesting, is that you really have to, you know, it doesn't really make that impressive of results, does it? Like, and you really have to know how to direct the information that you're receiving, right? So that's something that's holding me back, because I'm not sure that my approach would be any different than anybody else's. Not to say that I should do everything, that I want everything to be like, you know, me or whatever, but just thinking out loud. All right. So we probably need a little bit more slack on this guy. We need to remove a little bit more of this, of the shielding here. And then we'll solder it up. Solder. No? Solder? I guess it's like similar to caulking, you know, like silicone caulking. I mean, typically we say caulking here. I'm not sure if that's a UK thing. Yeah. You know, it's tricky, right? But yeah, I liked your auto harp thing. That was really freaking cool, man. Really cool. Really, really cool. All right, let's get this thing wired up. All right. Now we just need a little bit. I guess I should probably give myself a little bit more than that. I don't love these automatic wire strippers. They're not the best, you know? They're not flawless. I like a flawless kind of, you know, thing. I want it to like just be awesome. But it's not just awesome, right? It's like it's okay. Sometimes they work great, sometimes they don't. All right, let's tin this guy. All right. Now, I could use rosin on here, but I don't think I really need to. All right. Okay. Then we'll put a little bit of heat shrink on there on the wire before we make the connections again, right? Probably not the shield. All right. Looks pretty good. That'll do, that'll do. All right, so we got pin 1, which is, I've got the wire twisted around. So it goes white, black, green, red. Okay. That we can do. All right, let me get some heat shrink. Got this little kit, which is handy. It's got all kinds of different sizes. It doesn't have a lot of tiny sizes, But I think that'll be okay. It's just whether they fit over the pin. Shit. I probably need to clean up those pins, don't I? Yeah. Okay. Of course. One more thing to do. All right. Okay. You know what? Let's get this back on here and we'll do a little bit of solder sucking. Get these guys cleaned up. Right. God damn it. I probably shouldn't do it on the Keytar. I just realized that. But hey, you know, you live, you learn, you move on. Rule number 1, don't repair on the Keytar. I think I just moved a pin. Yeah, that's definitely plastic. Oh, shit. Yeah. I used to work somewhere that I had a plethora of access to heat shrink as well. It's a handy little thing. I love the ones that you can get with like the adhesive inside. So it's like kind of like glue. That stuff's really handy. Oh shit. I kind of melted that plastic a little bit. I should have taken the pins out. You know what? For frig's sake. I think I'm going to have to. I don't want to ruin this connector more than I already have. I've melted the plastic around the connector a little bit. I should have taken out the pins. I knew they were going to get too hot. And I didn't anyway. Shoot. I'm trying to rush. That's the problem here. Okay. Okay. You know what? They're all tinned. I should be able to do this pretty quickly. Oh, crap. Dough. All right. Let's try and blow through this. God, what a pain. Idiot. This guy needs a little bit more solder for sure. All right. Pin 1. There we go. Pin 1. Shield. There we go. That looks good. And then we should put a little bit of heat shrink on this guy. Excuse me. Apologies. All right. Actually, let's do this way. Oh, it broke. Oh boy. All right. The shield broke off. All right. Well, listen. Yeah. I think I'm going to have to do it off camera. But, yeah, I got to take off because quiet time is over and I need to resume dad duty. So, thanks for coming, Banana Breakdance. And Brian, as always, thanks for coming, man. Really appreciate it. I'll definitely keep you posted in terms of what's going on with my progress on the S3 1200, you know. Yeah. I'll keep you posted, let you know what's going on. But yeah. Should be a good video next week. Should be a really good video. I'm excited to show off the 8 channels for sure. Definitely excited. But anyway, as I said, I got to get going. And yeah, so I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, thanks as always for coming. And I'll talk to you soon. Take it easy, man. Appreciate it.